But first to the groundbreaking TV show that lampooned the heroes and villains of its day, Spitting Image.
Yes, some of those famous puppets are now up for sale, and if the thought of seeing Giles in latex frightens you,
It
then
does.
look away now.
Spitting Image was a British institution. From the 1980s onwards, it ran for more than 130 episodes.
It was loose-tongued, it was ribald, and it was certainly unrivalled.
No one was safe from the ridicule of the creators, even me. And now, with 41 of the original puppets going up for auction, I've come to the prop store to reacquaint myself with some familiar faces. Claire Rayner. We were together on breakfast television. I once worked with this man, Norman Lamont. He was Chancellor of the Exchequer. Bob Monkhouse laughed at him.
Why do they call it the people's vote? Who else is going to vote? Animals?
TV impersonator Alistair McGowan, who was behind many of the Spitting Image voices, has joined me today to pay homage to these iconic creations before they go their separate ways.
Don't sell us as life in us yet.
When it began in 1984, was it new? Was it different?
Yes, there'd been nothing like it at all. The use of the puppets, the impressions, and the script, I mean, it was irreverent. And I think a lot of people just latched onto it straight away as the future, and other people, I think, hated it and swore never to watch it again because they felt it went too far.
Of course, there was more agony than we would have liked, but at least we got more votes than the Conservatives did.
Roy Hattersley, I'm sure you remember, was always very upset.
Oh, because he spat all the time. There was spittle coming from him. And I have met Roy Hattersley. He doesn't spit.
Of course he doesn't spit, and you probably wouldn't be able to get away with that now. You can create an image which then resonates so much that it can really affect that person's standing, how they're seen in the public eye completely.
Good evening, boys!
Mrs. Thatcher was the whole programme, really. I think I joined just after she'd left power, so I was very much part of the John Major era, as were you, Giles. I think we could say the same thing.
Oh dear, this is no good. We're all too anonymous. We need to find some way of telling us apart.
But Steve Nallon, of course, was the famous person who did Mrs. Thatcher's voice, and nobody could believe that Thatcher's voice was being done by a man.
So, who wants to be my deputy? So you think I need a deputy, do you?
And you met politicians at the time, and they were quite pleased.
If they had a nice puppet, you know, people would grow to like that politician more. And the phrase was always, oh, they're becoming more like the puppet than they are themselves.
I love my job.
Could it work today, and who would you do today?
Oh, well, yes, it could definitely work today. Boris would be absolutely fantastic. You know, he's almost a puppet in himself. You can imagine the hair flying around. And from the Labour Party, obviously, we'd have to have Diane Abbott. Diane would be absolutely wonderful to do, I'm sure.
Now, that is very interesting.
Tim Laws is part of the team auctioning off the puppets. What sort of prices are you going to get?
Some of them start at £100. Hopefully everybody can afford something. They go right up to the Margaret Thatcher, which is probably the star of the show, and we think she's going to sell for between £2,000 and £3,000.
I'd quite like to buy myself, but on a BBC salary, sadly, that's not possible.
Am I down at the hundreds?
You're 300.
300? Oh. Well, I was going to say at 100 I'd have been tempted, but at least my wife would have me with hair, which
That's
she
true.
would like.
Well, what a wonderful collection of puppets it is. It seems rather a shame, though, they all have to go their separate ways now, does it not, Charles?
You're rather good at this, aren't you?
What, me? No, no.
Oh, how interesting. Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah, it was interesting.
Well, if you were interested, you can bid online from next Thursday. That's the 14th.
Yeah, a good Valentine's present, potentially. Can you imagine?
Yeah. We mentioned that Rod, during
yes,
that film, was actually a puppet in 1986.
I know, I remember seeing the series, but I don't recall a Rod Stewart puppet.
He didn't make an impression back then, Penny.
He was sold in 2001. How much do you think he went for?
Oh, God, the fans out there, I mean, they pay top dollar, but...
Shall I put you out of your misery?
Yeah, they were a bit tight in this case.
Oh.
£1,116. I think that's good.
Yeah, not bad. It obviously didn't look much like him.
We've got some prices here. I mean, we heard some in the film. Margaret Thatcher, we heard, is the guide price is 2,000 to 3,000.
Yeah.
Then they've got Steve Davis, you know, snooker player, 200 to 300. Snooker international sign. And then we've got the other ones that are over there. Do you know who they are? Can you guess? Mary, you might know one of them potentially. I mean, the one in the middle is Giles. We saw him in the film. I'll put you out your misery again. We've got Tom Hanks on the right.
I was going to say which side.
Oh my word.
On the right, yeah. And then And then we've got over here Boy George.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
Four-
why they don't get much money.
£400 to £600 if you're interested in Boy George. But
Yeah.
anyway, good luck at the auction. Let us know if you get
Hopefully it
one.
all goes to a good
Absolutely.
cause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Now, Mary, we saw you back in